Hello, welcome to Training Mug's Java Coding Challenges series. In this session, we'll discuss about one more coding challenge, that is how do you swap two variables without using a temp variable. Let us understand the logic. So how to swap two variables without using temp variable. So let us understand the logic. First, we'll understand how to swap using temp variable. So here we are taking two variables, a is 10, b is 20, and then we are going initially a contains 10, b contains 20, and we're taking a third variable temp which does not contain any initial value. So first we are going to assign a value to temp. Now the value 10 now moves from a to temp variable. Then we are going to assign b to a. Now b value is 20. Now that will be moved to 10. And finally the temp value to b. Now the temp value was 10. Now finally move to b. Now we'll look at about how to swap two variables without using temp variable. There are different approaches. We'll discuss about two approaches, that is addition, subtraction, and multiplication and division. First we'll discuss about addition and subtraction. Here we're taking two numbers, a is 10, b is 20. So initially a contains 10, b contains 20. So here we are going to do a is equal to a plus b, and then a value is now going to be 30, and then we're going to do b is equal to a minus b, then b value is going to be 10. Then next we are going to do a is equal to a minus b, then a value is going to be 10. So simply we are swiping the numbers by performing addition and then subtraction. So let us look at the other approach using multiplication and division. In this also we are taking the two same numbers, a is 10, b is 20. So initially a contains 10 and then b contains 20. So in this approach, first we do multiplication, that is a is equal to a into b, then 10 into 20, the resultant is going to be 200. Now this 200 value we're going to store in a. So a value was 10, now it will be replaced with 200. Then we're going to say b is equals to a divided by b. A value was 200 and b value was 20. So 200 divided by 20, that is going to be 10. Now this 10 value is going to be reassigned to b. Now 20 will be replaced with 10. Then finally we are going to say a is equal to a divided by b. A value was 200, b value was 10. Now resultant is 20, now which will be stored in a. So with the help of multiplication and division, we are swapping the two numbers, both a and then b. So let me open my Eclipse. Now I'm creating a new class. So right click on my package and selecting new class. So this class name I'm giving swapping two variables without temp. So I'm selecting my main method. Just click on finish. So now here let us take these two numbers as an input. So to take input we need the scanner class. So I'm now first creating a scanner object using the statement scanner is equal to new scanner, and then passing my input, that is system.in. Now here I'm going to write an acknowledgement, system.out.println, enter number 1. This number 1 I'm going to initialize to a variable saying integer number 1 is equal to, now I'll say scanner dot next int. And then similarly I'm going to take the input for second number. So I'll say enter number 2. This number 2 I'm going to print, I'm going to take it to a variable called number 2. So before swapping, let us print these variables. So I'm going to say before swapping, let me print what is number 1 and then what is number 2. The number 1 is, so I'm just going to print the variable number 1, and similarly system.out.println, I'll say number 2 is, and then I'm going to say plus number 2. So let me save this program and then run. So once you run, so on your console it will ask you to enter number 1. Let me enter 10 and then let me enter 20, number 2, and then it says that before swapping number 1 is just 10 and the number 2 is just 20. Now let us write the swapping code. So how we are going to write the swapping code without using temp? So here first approach will take it as addition and then subtraction. So in addition and subtraction, first what we do is we'll perform the addition of these two numbers saying number 1 plus number 2, that will store it in a number 1, and then the number 2 is going to be number 1 subtracting number 2, and then the number 1 is going to be number 1 minus number 2. So now when you say number 1 plus number 2, the value is going to be 30. The 30 will be stored in this. From 30 you're subtracting 20, so the number 2 will become 10, and then number 1, so number 1 is 30, number 2 was 20, so 30 minus 20 it is going to be 30 minus 10 it is going to be 20. So this is a way you can swap it. So I'm just going to print the same set of statements after swapping. So just I'm writing it as after swapping. So once it is done, let me run the program, and then it is asking me to enter the number again 10. I'm entering the number to 20. Then if you look at the output, so it says that before swapping the output was number 1 is 10 and the number 2 is 20. After swapping, the number 1 will become 20 and number 2 become 10. So let us look at the other approach, that is multiplication and subtraction, multiplication and division. So now here we are going to say that it is multiplication and then division. So here we are going to do the same. So I'm just commenting out this code because we have already done it with the addition and subtraction. Now with multiplication and division, we're going to say number 1 is equals to number 1 multiplied with number 2. Then number 2 is going to be number 1 divided by number 2, and similarly number 1 is going to be number 1 divided by number 2. So now let me copy this same code. After this, just eliminating this comment code, and then let me save. So let me run this program. So first it will ask me to enter 10, enter number 1, I enter 10, then enter number 2, I'm entering 20. Then before swapping it was 10 and 20, but after swapping it will become 20 and then 10. But there is a problem with this approach. What's the problem is, when you're doing division operation, if the number 2 is going to be 0, then you're not going to get the desired output, because anything which is divisible by 0 leads to an infinite value. That's here in Java you're going to get an exception. So let me run it and then we'll see. So I'm entering 10 and second one I entered 0. Then you got the arithmetic exception saying that divide by 0. So that is what the restriction of using multiplication and then division approach.